this off-season is bloody massive. Like, it can't get much more massive. Like, so we are probably looking at the biggest off-season in the Overwatch League's history. Since at least, well, since the new teams came in early 2019. Because there are so many moves going on. Absolutely so many moves going on. That most teams are going to look unrecognizable from what they were last year. When you see so many big rebuilds going on, when you see London, you've got Houston, you've got Dallas, you've got Paris, you've got a bunch of other teams as well, like Toronto, New York might not look the same. You're seeing a different main tank at the Philadelphia Fusion, which can make them look different. You're seeing so many different looks for different teams. And also, Guangzhou Charge is a team that's also making a lot of changes. So it's time to go through the rumour mill. The rumour mill. Now, nothing in this video is confirmed. I will put that out there as a very, very, very big warning before any of you take this word. Most of this, if not all of this, is from Halo of Thoughts. And it's interesting. It's really, really interesting. Because if a lot of this is to be believed, then there are massive changes going on at pretty much every single team in the league. So let's start off with Violet. This is not Halo of Thoughts, this is Violet himself saying goodbye. And this was a few days ago. Now, if he was to move from the San Francisco Shock, again, it's just a rumour, Violet might be trolling. It wouldn't surprise me. And if we already know, well, there are already rumours surrounding Super, surrounding Moth, at the San Francisco Shock. We've seen Rascal leave as well. There's a bunch of moves going on. And the Shock are not going to be, I don't think, the massive roster that they were. Are they going to be as powerful as they were? I mean, it's still going to have people like Troy Coburn and Smurf and Twilight. But are they, especially if they lose Violet, are they going to be this big team anymore? Or are they going to be defeatable? Are they going to be, is there going to be more of a tussle, shall we say, with San Francisco Shock not being as formidable as they perhaps once were? That's a change that could be coming very soon. And then we get the other rumours surrounding the Los Angeles Gladiators, which directly link to the Shock, because Moth has been linked with a move to the Los Angeles Gladiators alongside Shu of the Guangzhou Charge. All of a sudden, you're seeing the Los Angeles Gladiators build quite a formidable support line alongside what they've got already. And they've got Space, they've got Bird Ring, they've also been linked with Super as well. And all of a sudden, you see Los Angeles Gladiators starting to build quite a formidable squad. And a squad that could compete with some of the better teams in the league. Then we have changes, obviously, at Dallas. Now, Dallas is the big one that stand out of this off-season so far. They're signing up so many Paris boys, so many old Element Mystic boys. When we look at the likes of Hanbin, we look at the likes of Sparkle, new management with Rush and Young. They're also rumoured to be getting hold of Fearless from the Shanghai Dragons. Like, that is monumental. It is very bizarre that Shanghai Dragons would want to let Fearless go. But Fearless, in my opinion, was the best main tank in the league last year. Like, in terms of overall season consistency, I think Fearless was the best main tank in the league. His only downfall a bit was Wrecking Ball. I think he had a good hog in the playoffs, but for some reason Shanghai decided to bring in Stan 1 in the grand finals. And it all kind of upset the apple cart. But that would be a massive signing. That would be a phenomenal signing. And looking at a tank line with Fearless and Hanbin, that's really darn good. Put them alongside Doha, Sparkle, and then the rest of the team like Fielder, etc. And you're looking at a team that is very formidable at Dallas. Like very, very formidable. Then we have the changes most recently at the Philadelphia Fusion and NYXL. This is the NYXL trading Mano to the Philadelphia Fusion. Mano was part of the God tier tank line in the inaugural season of Mano and Mirko. And Mano is incredibly experienced. And I think he's a great leadership figure. And I think that is something that the Philadelphia Fusion could benefit from very, very greatly. And he will be starting alongside either Poco or Fury, unless Philadelphia Fusion decide to ship one of them out and bring in a new guy. Who knows what's happening? Fury's still not tied down. So there's questions over him as well. But this leads to questions over Sado. Now, I don't, in my opinion, think Sado is as consistent and as good as Manu. But Sado was still good. He was good last year all throughout until he hit the grand finals, where he got pooped on quite badly. So there is a possibility that Sado ends up somewhere else. Though, when we look at the Shanghai Dragons, them letting go of Fearless, there are rumours that the Moon wants to bring Fate to the Shanghai Dragons to be reunited with him. So that opens up a new tank slot at the Mayhem, because Mayhem currently have Fate as their main tank alongside Gargoyle, and this means they wouldn't have Fate anymore. This takes us to the Florida Mayhem, where we are seeing rumours that that Sanguinar of the London Spitfire will become their new main support. I think Sanguinar deserves a shot like this at a better team than he was at in 2020, because I think Sanguinar was one of the bright sparks of that London Spitfire team that is now being completely dismantled. But to fill the main tank role at the Mayhem, if Fate was to move, would be Muse. Now, Muse is technically assigned to the Eternal Academy, although that doesn't technically exist anymore. He's been on loan at different places, and he's a great tank player. So we're seeing another new influence, a new face in the league, but another face that I think could do very, very well. So you see how all these changes are kind of having an impact. Then we see some really weird ones. So obviously, Mano moving to the Philadelphia Fusion vacates the main tank role at the NYXL. And who would replace this? Well, at the moment, the rumours are saying Yakpung. Yakpung. Remember the guy that used to play for the Toronto Defiant? Didn't have a great time at the Toronto Defiant, did he? Well, he went back to O2 Blast. Yes, O2 Blast. And he's been doing quite well. And he's still in 19 Yakpung, so he may get another shot at the league, with a team arguably a lot better than Toronto Defiant were in 2019. And I wish him all the best with that. Obviously, he'll have a new, if he gets that chance at the NYXL, who will be his off-tank partner, because that's another one that we really have no idea who's going to fill right now. So you see this kind of tank merry-go-round going on. A lot of main tanks switching up teams. Then we have other ones that are kind of they're kind of around the radar. Atlanta Reign rumored to be picking up Pelican, a Korean DPS player, and I think that would be a very good signing for the Atlanta Reign as well, having they just got rid of Erster and Saucy as well. I think that'd be a good pickup for the Reign. Then we see confirmed things like Jerry. Jerry has left the Boston Uprising. Again, very interesting. But he hasn't left to go straight to another team. He's now looking for team. So, would Jerry get picked up by someone? Who's Jerry going to go to? You would have thought that Jerry would be picked up by an Overwatch League team, considering he was one of the standout players for that Boston Uprising side. Plus, he's got a very good reputation in the Overwatch League. He was not a meme. I mean, he was a meme, but he wasn't a meme, if you see what I mean. And he has a fan base of his own. People like Jerry, and I would expect him to be picked up. I wonder by who, though. And then we have the real weird stuff. We had a leaked scrim, not a scrim, yeah, a scrim, or a tryout for the Paris Eternal the other day, which featured people like Muma, Onigod, Jakaru19, who's a British tank player in Contenders. I believe Paintbrush was in there as well. There was a few people in there. And that would be very interesting. Like, if Paris Eternal were to sign up Muma, a player we haven't seen all season for the Houston Outlaws, got replaced by Hydration, who used to be obviously main tank, used to be a DPS player. Would be very interesting to see Muma back in the league, wouldn't it? Playing for the Paris Eternal. So that was a leaked scrim the other day. Then we still have the questions over London Spitfire. Are they going to promote the entirety of Hurricane? Are they going to add other bits to that? I've had sneaky feelings about Hybrid, who is currently on Team Doge. A bunch of Team Doge have actually left now and gone to other teams. Aspen's now at Square One. Lolshish was Elivo. I can't remember which one was at that team, but they're also now back in Europe alongside some other players from that team. There's only 2 people on that team. Hybrid is one of them. British DPS player, Hitscan. So he could be another player that ends up at the London Spitfire or the British Hurricane in the future. And there are so many rumours, so many changes, so much news going on in the Overwatch League, and it is unprecedented. It is unprecedented, this level of change for a load of different teams. And it does mean that the next season of the Overwatch League is going to look very different. A lot of teams are going to be very different, and it will make it very, very difficult to power rank. Extremely difficult to power rank teams next season, because everyone is going to have changed so much that, yeah, it's going to be weird. 2021 is going to be weird. It's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be a lot of unpredictable stuff, and it's going to be a ride. And I personally can't wait. Even though the league's been, well, supposedly been pushed back a little bit. Hopefully we get Overwatch 2 as well. And that will just add to the insanity. 2021, dude. Who cares about 2020 anymore? 2020's been absolute rubbish. Let's get to 2021. Let's see what these teams look like. Let's see what Season 4 of the Overwatch League will look like. But I'm going to leave it here for this one. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you'd like to give a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. See you then.